Hello, everybody. Pranams. I think I'm on. It's a very weird situation. I can see no one, but I guess we're having contact. I hope the screen is okay. Anyway, welcome to this satsang from Sterksel ashram in Holland. Hello to everybody. I'm happy to speak to you, although I can only perceive you somewhere in the formless. So you may see me, I have to speak in a different way. So today is a special day, as we all know. This is the Easter time and also Passover time. It's a very special time, and it is very much, I see myself now. So it is very much fitting to this special time in which we all find ourselves to be more secluded. And Gurudev said, you may have read Peter Baba's message, seclusion is the price of greatness. Seclusion is the price of transformation, development. What is seclusion? Seclusion is to reconnect to our inner silence. Today is the day of silence. Saturday before Easter, in many countries, it is called Silent Saturday, Stille Samstag, Stille Zaterdag. So in many languages, they say Silent Saturday. Yesterday it was Good Friday. Jesus was tortured, crucified, and it was on a day just before the Shabbat, before the Saturday in the Jewish tradition. So they had to take the corpses from the crosses, quickly do it, because when sun is going down, it will be already Shabbat. In many traditions, also in India, many feasts, many celebrations, we start the evening before. So also in this tradition, with the sunset, Shabbat began. So this silent Saturday, it is there since yesterday evening and going on this whole day. They were not allowed to do anything. They couldn't go to the grave to give the proper attention to Jesus. They had to stay at home, just like we all. They couldn't go out. We're not allowed to go out and pray together. Had to stay at home, according to these Shabbat rules. So today it is a little bit the same, isn't it? Jesus is asking for more silence. Silence of what? Silence of talk? Maybe more silence in the inner talk. In this time, I found one couple of verses in the Bible very much appropriate. Gurudev Baba Hariharanandaji. What I'm talking is just his teaching, it's not my talk. So he many times he quoted these verses from Matthew 6:6. It's very easy to remember 6:6, the sixth chakra, the third eye. When you enter there, there will be more silence. In this In these verses, it is written that Jesus is telling, when you pray, you close all your doors and go inside. Don't show to anyone that you're praying. Close all the doors and don't pray with too many words. That means not too many thoughts. Just all these words in the mind, in the head, take it out. Go into silence. Then the inner sound will come. To close all the doors. So in this special time, you have to go inside. You don't see anyone on the street, or fewer. You have to go into your own room, in your own particular ashram, inside, pray. And to close the doors, Gurudev said, is to close all your sense organs. As you know, as we have been explained in the Indian tradition, the body has 9 doors, 9 physical doors, 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, mouth, then also sex organ and anus. These last 2, you're not busy with that all the time. But we're busy with the doors in the face, the 7 doors in the face, and also unlimited doors through the pores of our skin. So how to close these doors? You can physically close the eyes. That is what we're doing in meditation. The eyes are willing to see, always. Even when we do a talk like this. Yesterday we did a little bit of try out with Prashant Baba. I couldn't get the screen was black. So I asked him, well, I can talk and screen is black, doesn't matter. He said, no, it's not so much appealing. So we all want to see something and we want to go out and see the beautiful nature. We want to see each other. We want to see colors, forms. So, but when we close our eyes in meditation, that outer light will change. The colors from outside will change into inner colors. They are a little bit different. And the inner light is also different. It may be that foggy white light, milky white light, or a brilliant light, or the light of the third eye. So when you see these things in meditation, it means you have introverted the organ of sight. And this is only the beginning, because when you advance a little bit in meditation, you can also see the light with open eyes. Like Sri Yukteswarji was meditating with open eyes, seeing the light. So that means the eye is introverted. When the organ of hearing is introverted, you hear that divine sound. You can close your ears, but many of you who are listening, at the same time, you hear my speech, but also you hear the divine sound. So that means you have introverted your ears. The mouth. You can shut your mouth. Nowadays, we talk a little bit less. It's interesting. When you go to the supermarket, it may be the only place where people meet nowadays. So people keep some distance, 1.5 meters, but you can perceive there's less talk. Before, people would talk easily. Now there's very less talk. So automatically, when people have some distance, there is less talk. So the whole world is introverting also the organ of speech. The mouth has many functions. It wants to talk. It wants to taste. It wants to swallow. It wants to chew. It wants to kiss. So that's why we got 2 doors there, lips and teeth. But those who are meditating, they have a 3rd door. Tongue is rolled back in Kichari Mudra. So when you do that, your organ of speech, the mouth, is more introverted. So this will give you more quality of breath. Breath will be more regulated with the Kachari Mudra. So breath, now we come to the nostrils, the nose. Breath will not be so irregular. Breath needs rhythm. We have to live in rhythm, the rhythm with nature. But our breath, it is not so rhythmic. It's a little bit up and down and quick and then slow. If we meditate, if we watch our breath, then automatically the breath becomes more slow, more rhythmic. Through that, we'll get inner peace. We can connect to our inner divine nature. Many teachers are teaching this, to watch the breath, because breath is connected to the innermost being, to the mind, to the thoughts. So when breath is more calm, thoughts are more balanced, thoughts are less, the mind doesn't make you so crazy anymore. But Gurudev, he added something, not just to watch the breath, but to go up more, to watch it from the top of the head, the crown chakra. He said the place where they put the crown of thorns around the head of Jesus. To just stay in Fontenelle, one place, is difficult. But also to remain here, somewhere here, it already gives you much more balance, much more inner peace. And without knowing, the whole world is talking about this crown chakra day and night on radio and television, isn't it? Corona, 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 corona. Corona means crown. So now, from now on, every day, every time, when you speak about corona or you hear corona, think about this corona. Think of your fontanelle. It will help us to become more introverted and also to perceive the Buddha said the touch sensation of God, because also our sense organ of touch is now changed. We're not allowed to shake hands anymore. We're not allowed to hug each other anymore, maybe in the family, but then government steps in and we're not even allowed to touch things anymore. Again, I'm referring to the supermarket. It's a common thing for everybody. So when people now, they touch like a tomato or an apple, then there is some scolding from somebody else. Hey, don't touch it. Don't take the bread from the basket with your own hand. You should use this tool to pick the bread, because otherwise you'll get scolding from others. You cannot touch your hand to the bread in the basket. So now we're more afraid of these things. So the touch sensation is a little bit changed. So if we go more to this inner state in Fontanelle, this touch sensation will be transformed into movement sensation, pulsation, vibration. So in this way, we can close all our doors. And Gurudev said, watch it from the Fontanelle. Watch it from the crown chakra, from the corona chakra, we can say. And then transform your chakras. Baba Hariharanandaji said this crisis is a crisis which has come because we misused nature. We exploited nature too much. We do this on an outer level, but this outer level is just a sign of how we live inside. So our 5 lower chakras are connected with our Mother Nature. As you know, the bottom chakra, the earth center, we have exploited our earth to a very, very big extent. We have too many desires for material. I'm always surprised to see in myself and in others, even in the West, where we have so much of material things, that still people want more material things. And we don't realize that all this material, actually, it is born from nature, from the crust of nature. We dig deep into nature to get materials there. Or we destroy all the forests to build nice houses or whatever. Even our bench in the garden where we sit on comes from a far forest, from maybe Asia or Africa. So what's happening? Mother Earth sends earthquakes, tsunamis, earthquake in the ocean. And if we don't listen, same thing in the second center. Second center, no balance, exploitation, sometimes misuse. So what's happening? The waters, they're getting polluted. We don't have a moral standard anymore. We all make mistakes, but when we do it on a collective level, the waters get polluted. So there will be also water disasters. We see it many times, or even drought. Last year in this ashram, Holland is known that we have so many lush green fields, but for months together we didn't have any water coming, no rain. So it was dry, also in the ashram, dry fields. So, but still we don't listen. Navel center, element fire. So navel center, known for his physical power, eating, drinking. So we have forgotten that we don't live to eat, but that we eat to live. So many of us, maybe all of us, there is some abuse in the navel center. So what's happening? God is sending fires, big fires in California, South Africa, whole coast is black. I've seen it 2 years ago. Australia, big fires, doesn't want to stop. So God is sending warnings. God, Mother Earth doesn't want to punish us, but she's sending warnings. Also in the heart center. The heart center, the place of breath, the place of wind, the place of emotions, and our emotions sometimes are running too wild, sometimes are running too much negative. We have come to the point that everybody knows best. All of us. We think we know best. We cannot accept the way of living of somebody else, or so we're quarreling in the family and then distancing and then living alone and all these things. Well, you know everything. So what's happening? Tornadoes is coming, whirlwinds coming, pollution of air. Yesterday, very nicely on the television in Holland, so the main news emission at 8 o'clock, they showed a very nice picture of the Himalayas, and it was great news that on a distance of 200 kilometers, we could see the Himalayas without any pollution. And so they showed this, and they said that usually because of that pollution, Himalaya tops, the snow and everything, cannot be seen. So, but now it can be seen because everything stopped, all pollution has stopped. So will we listen? In the next center, the subtlest element of ether, all-pervading element, also pervading all the other elements. So What is the problem there? The problem there is that this subtle element of spirituality, again, Baba Hariharanandaji has written yesterday in my own words, why don't we change? Why do we meditate and not changing? Because our effort is not too much. We don't change. Still there is element, and still there is ego in the neck center. So what God is doing, now he's sending all-pervading viruses going all over the world, not stopping at the border of Europe, not stopping at the border of America. So this is really a punishment. To me, when I think about these things, and when I heard this is also Passover time, the Jews who were forced to work like slaves in Egypt. So Moses, their leader, he was begging Pharaoh, please let our people go back to the promised land. But Pharaoh was very stubborn. So God sent many plagues. God sent locusts, God sent fires, God sent waters, God sent darkness. Still, Pharaoh was very, very stubborn. He didn't want to let them go. Now, the last thing, the 10th plague, was that God has killed all the newborn babies from the Egyptian houses. So then, finally, Pharaoh listened after all these deaths. So let them go. And then again, chasing after them, but they couldn't do it. So I'm talking a lot. And I also see a message from my T-Mobile. I don't know if I have sufficient space because I'm not connected to Wi-Fi, but 4G. And just today, my bundle is finished, so I hope I can still make it. Anyway, so we are in this special time, and it is beautiful to say that all religions gather together around this difficult time, and that we also appreciate each other's religions more. And when I meditated a little bit about it, then I found out that isn't it strange that the intensity of the coronavirus and the measures, it comes in a time which is traditionally a fasting time. And so 40 days of fasting in the Christian tradition. And so ending tomorrow at Sunday, Easter. And also during Passover, it is about 7-8 days. Also some kind of fasting. Traditionally, they fast in such a way that they don't eat bread, the leavened bread. They eat the matzahs. So they eat something bitter to remember the bitterness of slavery. And that will be finished next Thursday, the Passover. Then again, that Friday, it will be Easter again in the Eastern Orthodox tradition. The Orthodox tradition has also a tradition of fasting. So again, next Sunday, again Easter. Then a few days later, the Muslims, Ramadan, starting 23rd, if I'm not mistaken, a whole month, again, fasting. Then a few days later, Pentecost, Holy Spirit. I hope it will be finished by then, but at the same time, I think this is a very beautiful time. I think everybody can feel it, that it's a difficult time. Your own weaknesses are exposed more to yourself. At the same time, there's more calmness, more space, more time to meditate. So this is the time for change. Like Guruji said, come out of this crisis and come out of these Easter days with a changed nature. Let our nature become more divine. When our nature becomes more divine, then the 10th door, the fontanel, will open. Then it will be opened in such a way that on an astral level, there will be more connection to the masters, to the divine spirit, to the cosmic consciousness. To open the 10th door by closing the 9 other doors, to remain more in silence, to watch the breath, to remain in the fontanel. These are all the teachings of the masters, the lineage of masters.